Hello and welcome to Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. So today on Chef Carter's Cooking Corner, in the Mary Ann's Gilligan's Island Cookbook, we are going to be cooking a cake called the Honeybees Oatmeal Cake. My favorite episode. Remember this song?
You need me, you need me, like a boy needs a girl.
Okay, y'all, I'm done. It's recipe time. So, this is called the Honeybees Oatmeal Cake, and again, it's from the Gilligan's Island Cookbook or Mary Ann's Gilligan's Island Cookbook. So, first, you're going to take 1.5 cups of hot water and you're going to add 1 cup of oatmeal and let that sit to the side so the oatmeal can soften. Alright, and then in a small bowl, you're going to put 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. And then you're just kind of mix those together and put that to the side. Alright, so in a large bowl, you are going to take 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, and a 1/2 cup of oil. Alright, now you're going to mix those together until somewhat blended. Now making sure to get every drip drop out of there. Alright, so blend that together. And then once we do that, we're going to add that oatmeal water mixture we had sitting to the side and blend that together. Alright, after that's blended, you're going to add the flour mixture, and then you want to mix this just until it's combined. Now the recipe doesn't say anything about preparing the pan beforehand, but I took the liberty of spreading shortening and flour onto the cake pan just to be sure. Alright, but this may be the type of cake you don't need it. Now it's ready to get poured into the pan, and I actually thought you'll see in a minute it's not going to fill the pan all the way, which I thought it would, but it doesn't. But what I did was I just spread everything as evenly as I could and then baked it. Alright, so this cake has a glaze that goes on top of it, and it starts with a 1/2 cup of butter, and then 1 cup of brown sugar, and then 1.5 cups of evaporated milk, which is basically a can of evaporated milk. Alright, and so once you put those in the pan, you're going to I put it on medium heat. It really doesn't say, it just says bring to a boil, but I put it on medium-high heat until it came to a boil, and then I turned it down to medium. Right, and then I made sure that I stirred it quite often to make sure it didn't stick and burn on the sides or bottom. Alright, and then once it comes to the boil, you are to boil it for 5 minutes. Alright, so while you're watching how this goes, let's do some trivia. So on page 223 of the Gilligan's Island cookbook, they have a little bit of trivia. So the first one asks, which two castaways are you least likely to find wearing a hat? And that would be Ginger and the Professor. And then another trivia question is, what were the names of the Castaways' two bands? One was called, of course, the Honeybees and the Gnats. And then another one, what is the name of Wrong-Way Feldman's plane? The Spirit of the Bronx. And how many huts are on Gilligan's Island? And that would be 5. Alright, so I hope I didn't go too fast on that trivia, but as you can see, it's come to a boil now. And again, it boils for 5 minutes. And then once it comes to the boil, you turn off the heat and you're going to add a 1/2 cup of coconut and chopped nuts. It doesn't say, it just says chopped nuts, but then it says coconut. And so basically I put some walnuts in this case, and then to finish up the 1/2 cup I stuffed it with coconut. So hopefully I didn't put not enough. And I could see adding even a little more than what I did as far as the nuts and coconuts go. I think it could handle that. So onto the hot cake, you go ahead and pour that glaze, and then I made sure every part of the cake was covered with the spoon. I let it sit for 10 minutes before I served it. It really doesn't say if you should wait a few minutes or what. It just says pour mixture over hot cake, makes 12 servings. Alright, so there we go. This is so delicious. This recipe is actually a recipe from Dreama and Bob Denver. Dreama is Gilligan's wife in real life, so Bob Denver being Gilligan. And so she actually played on Gilligan's Island for the movie The Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island. So whatever it is or whoever wrote this recipe is really good, and I suggest you try it. So if you try it, let me know in the comments, and thank you for stopping by Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. Remember to like, subscribe, share, stick around and watch more, and I'll see you next time.